Welcome to the Maps introduction video. In this video I'll be showing you how to create a simple Maps project. In the Maps designer, right click on Maps and select Add Project. For this video we'll be calling the project name Demo Project, and the project description will also be called Demo Project. The screen resolution we'll be using is Full HD. There are 3 different layouts of navigation: simple, standard and advanced. We'll be using the standard navigation. The next step is where I define the main plant area. You can have multiple plant areas in your project, for example northern suburb and southern suburb. For each plant area you have to assign a unique area code. This code will later be prefixed to the equipment names. The plant area name for this project will be called Site 01, and the plant area description will also be called Site 01. The plant area code we'll be using is DS01. The next step is where I set up the Maps PLC. For this project we'll be calling a Demo PLC, and the description will also be called Demo PLC. We then assign this PLC to our Site 01 plant area, and we select a pre-configured Adroit device called Demo PLC. This is a Q series PLC. In this next step we have to set up the process unit. A process unit is a process within the plant area. This unit consists of all the equipment applicable to that process. You can have multiple processes in the plant. For example, the northern suburb can have 2 pump stations. Each pump station has their own electrical and instrumentation equipment. For this project we'll only have 1 unit. This unit will be called Section 01, and the description will be called Demo Section 01. We'll then assign this unit to the Demo PLC. The next step is where we select the electrical equipment we want to use. For this project we're going to create 3 direct-on lines. As you can see in this window, the 3 motors are there but aren't completed. Each motor now has to be assigned to the correct process unit. You then have to give each motor the correct equipment name and equipment description. When you click on the graphic cell, there will be a selection of icons to select from. You can decide if you want to create the tags after completing the project or sync it later with a SCADA. The first motor I'm going to assign to Section 01. As you can see now with the equipment name, the DS01 has been prefixed. I'm going to call this motor DS01 Mod 01. The description is going to be Demo Motor 01. And the graphic that I'll be using is the direct online with amps. Motor 2 I assign to Section 01. If I click on name, it auto-populates now. I only need to remove the 2 zeros. The description of this motor is Demo Motor 02, and the graphic that I'll be using is the direct online with amps. Motor 3 I assign to Section 01. I click on name and remove the 2 zeros. The description is Demo Motor 03, and the graphic I'll be using is the direct online with amps. I then select Create Tags. The next step is where I select the instrument types and quantity I require. For this project I require 3 analog inputs. Like the motor, I need to assign the analog to Section 01. The name of the analog is DS01 underscore temp underscore 01. The description of this analog is motor 01 temperature. And the graphic that I'll be using is the standard analog graphic. I'll be doing the same setup for the 2 other analogs. I now select Create Tags and click Finish. Maps is now busy creating for me the tags, doing the scanning, logging and alarming of each of the equipment. It is now also busy building the graphics for each of the equipment and my standard navigation. I now select Save Database, and this has now created my standard maps project. I can now expand maps, which will show me my demo project, then my site 01 and my section 01. In section 01 it will show me all my electrical and instrumentation equipment. The map standard navigation is based on this project structure. I'm now going to create the PLC program. I right click on Demo PLC and select Build PLC Program. Maps is now busy creating the GXWorks program consisting of the equipment function blocks and libraries. GXWorks now opens up and I go to User Library. In User Library, I'm going to unlock the Demo PLC program. In this program, you'll see that all my function blocks for each motor and analog is created. When I'm doing programming, I only need to reference the labels in my programs. I'm now going to create my operator view. I right click on my maps project and select Build Operator View. I then open up my maps operator and log in with my username and password. As you can see, my navigation has been created and all my analogs and motors are created for me automatically. Go back to my designer. I now want to add 3 motors on that form. I double click on section 01, which will now open up the form for the motors and the analogs. I go to Shapes, Wizards and Examples and select the motor graphic. I paste the graphic onto the form and I size it to the correct size. I'm now going to make 3 copies of this graphic. I now select Motor 1 icon and I move it to Motor 1 graphic. And I do the same for the Motor 2 icon. As you can see, it snaps into position with Motor 1. And the same for Motor 3. I'm now going to take the analog of Motor 1 and move it above the Motor 1 icon. As you can see, it snaps into position. I take Motor 2 and you can see that snaps also into position, and the same for Motor 3. I now save my form, go back to my maps operator, and as you can see, everything has now been moved like it was done in a designer. I can now click on my motor icon. This opens up the home page for the motor. There's also a setup page that you can set up the current settings and then also the stopping and starting set points. There's also a trend page which shows you the actual current and then also the alarm limit of the current. If you click on the Interlock icon, the Interlock page comes up. This can be configured in the designer. When I click on the analog icon, it opens up the home page for the analog. On this home page, it shows the engineering min and max, the alarm statuses, and then also the alarm limits for this analog. The analog also has a setup page. On this setup page, you can set up the engineering min and max, the raw resolution, as well as the alarm set points. The analog also has a trend page. This trends the actual analog value as well as the alarm limits. This data can be exported to Excel. This small automation project consisting of 3 motors and 3 analogs took me less than 10 minutes to complete. Maps created the database for me, did all the scanning, logging and alarming automatically. All the equipment icons and templates were automatically created. Maps also created the PLC program with the library and function blocks. I only need to download it to the PLC. With another 10 minutes of SCADA engineering, I created a more detailed operator picture. As I get new equipment like valves, I just need to add it to my Maps project and update my Section 01 graphic page and PLC program. Thank you for watching the Maps introduction video. If you require more information, please visit the Maps SCADA website.